Hello and welcome. My name is Nicholas and this is Literally Graphic. And today we're going to be visiting a volume that I read right before I went on my last hiatus, which is Nightwing Volume 1, Traps and Trapezes by Kyle Higgins et al. So, doing so many reviews, as I was at the time when I wrote this review, about women in the New 52, I picked up this volume, mostly because it had Nightwing's crotch plastered all over it. That's one of my biggest issues with how Batgirl has been artistically treated in Volume 1 and 2 of the New 52, so why not do a contrast? Well, to make a long story short, it's kind of a completely different thing. For me at least, it really boils down to the power structures behind the traditional P and V. Seeing a guy with his thighs spread is still a completely different experience, even as a woman who's attracted to some guys, than what DC seems to be catering to in their treatment of women in the initial launch of the New 52. Although obviously that's like super old news at this point. Maybe if Grayson was wearing a sock and perpetually quote-unquote excited, that would be more equal, but even writing that sounds kind of horrible. But that's the same kind of horrible I feel about the painted on F me camel toe that goes on in the first two volumes of Batgirl that otherwise, plot-wise, I really enjoy. So maybe I am getting at something here. How about we not do either, unless you're trying to actually say something? Preferably positive, but I'm not going to be holding my breath for that one. There is also a decided lack of ass shots. Again, not to say that I'm dying to see it, but if we really want to treat a guy just as over-the-top sexually as DC was treating so many women at the time, that would definitely be much more analogous to their treatment of Catwoman and Batgirl, etc. I will admit it was nice to at least get to see more guy skin than girl skin in this comic. The only time that Grayson has the kind of ashy skin tone that Batman had in Catwoman Volume 1 of the New 52, for example, Barbara had the same tone and wasn't magically still pink and succulent looking like they did to Catwoman. But that's where all of my interest pretty much died. For all the interesting comparisons I just made about the art, the story was incredibly underwhelming, bordering on Arrow, which I am not a fan of, levels of soap opera drama, which usually I'm okay with. This volume was melodramatic to the max. Grayson reminisces about the past. Bad guys beat up stereotypical black gangsters. Other people die. Some people come back to life. Women use their sexuality for evil. There's girl-on-girl jealousy over a guy, and Grayson is suddenly a chosen one. Not the most progressive, mature, or interesting plot in the world, but since I've already read the rest of the series, I will probably be ranting/reviewing about them, so check back in later. Keep on reading and resist the fash. And as always, I would like to acknowledge that for the most part, all of my videos are filmed and produced on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, an Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation, land covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant.